North Syracuse's 38th annual commencement ceremony. Please continue standing for our national anthem and invocation. Our national anthem will be presented by the CNS Vocal Jazz Ensemble under the direction of Miss Danielle Rausa.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please remain standing for the invocation. Let us take a few moments to pause and reflect on the meaning and seriousness of this occasion, graduation from high school. Our students have worked very hard to arrive at this moment in time. As we reflect on their time at CNS, we are thankful for their achievements, talents, goals, and dreams. This evening, we are truly grateful to be able to be back all together as a community, showing our support for each other and each graduate, and committing ourselves to their success as we begin to help them close one chapter in their lives and to begin another. Let us dedicate ourselves to support them as they continue on life's journey. As we stop to reflect on our many blessings, let us truly consider the meaning of today, one of life's most important milestones. Thank you. At this time, you may be seated.
I am so thankful that tonight we're here together, able to honor the entire Cicero North Syracuse graduating class of 2021. Tonight, we are honoring 590 graduates. Your class is the largest graduating class in Onondaga County. My name is Jamie Sullivan, and I am the executive principal of Cicero North Syracuse High School. I am honored to introduce the individuals sitting on stage. If you will please stand as I say your name. Our Board of Education President, Mr. Paul Farfallia. Our Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Daniel Bowles. Associate Superintendent for Teaching and Learning, Dr. Christopher Leahy. House 1 Principal, Ms. Heather Pukta. Our House 2 Principal, Ms. Ann Lorenzini. House 3 and Senior Class Principal, Ms. Sarah Keys. Your valedictorian of the class of 2021, Edwin Hirsch. The class of 2021 Salutatorian, Giorgio Rauda. Our senior class speaker, Madison King. Your senior class advisors, Miss DeMoro and Miss McPhillips. Our Board of Education president, Mr. Paul Farfallia, is a retired teacher from the Jordan Elbridge Central School District. He's lived in the North Syracuse School District for 32 years. He proudly serves on our Board of Education, where he supports our students in schools. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our Board of Education president, Mr. Paul Farfallia.
Thank you. Welcome, class of 2021, and welcome to all your loved ones who are able to be here today. It's my honor and privilege to speak to you briefly on behalf of the North Syracuse Board of Education. But I'm amazed you're here. You've done it. You've made it. Everybody here, all your family, friends, and loved ones through the challenges and the ordeal that we went through that I won't name. I'll let somebody else use the P word later today. My theme, I just wanted to mention that who you are becoming is more important than who you are today. It's my hope that as you go forward, no matter what path you take, learning and developing a marketable skill, pursuing a 2-year degree, a 4-year degree, or beyond that, maybe pursuing a pathway of service to our community or our country, the military, law enforcement, or the many, many options that are out there. No matter what you choose, it's my hope that you'll be able to be a productive member of society, support yourself, your family, and if able, give back to your community. And there's a time that I would say that I would hope that would be enough, but sadly, I feel as I stand here that that's just not good enough anymore. Many from my generation are either at the end of their careers or have already retired. We had hoped to leave the world a better place, just as we were left by the greatest generation before us, the children of the Depression and those who served in World War II. They did so much to build this country in which we live. They built it community by community by community. Sadly, in a way, I almost feel I owe you sort of an apology in that I felt that we'd be in a better place by now, because I feel this country can and must do better than we are doing right now. And I'm in no way, shape, or form making a political speech. That's not my intention. All I am saying is we need to do better as a society, and we can, but it requires participation from everyone. So I'm counting on you, graduates of 2021. Don't just be a bystander. Be involved. Let's make something that's good even better. One of my heroes, John F. Kennedy, used to use the phrase, "A rising tide lifts all boats." The origins of the quote are debatable, and JFK used this on a number of occasions. It seems we used to care more about others, and I think we need to think more about that. We use the pandemic phrase a lot over the last year or more. We are all in this together. That should still apply, but the this in that statement can be almost anything. In closing, and last year I used this little quote because it has evolved since last year in my mind and the meaning it has. It goes like this. Tomorrow is the most important thing in life. It comes to us at midnight very clean. It's perfect when it arrives, and it puts itself in our hands. It hopes we've learned something from yesterday. As we all move forward, I hope there are things that we can learn from this experience that will make us better. Better as a people, better as society. Lastly, and it is the last one, a quote from John Lennon in a song taken from somewhere else, the quote, but life is what happens to you while you're busy making other plans. So while you're out there, Please enjoy the journey. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Farfallia. Before becoming superintendent, Mr. Bowles had been with the district for 24 years. In that time, he had been a school counselor right here at CNS, assistant principal, director of elementary education, associate superintendent, and now our superintendent. Please welcome to the stage our superintendent of schools, Mr. Daniel Bowles.
Thank you. This is truly a special occasion. It is an honor to stand here today in front of all of the students, families, grandparents, faculty, board members, and friends to acknowledge the accomplishment like no other before it. To say that this is a momentous feat does not even scratch the surface. March 16th of 2020 shocked us all and sent us down a path that was totally uncharted in our lifetime. It is a time that none of us want to repeat. I want to recognize and thank the high school administration, our maintenance and operations department, our senior class advisors, our secretaries, our security, and everyone else that made this day as one senior class possible. Please give everyone a round of applause. I think it is safe to say that during all this time, when we've been talking about COVID-19, I personally was the recipient of what I will call COVID-15, which is the 15 extra pounds that I put on around my waistline during all of this. I want all of our students to take a good look at all of your fellow classmates because this truly is a special day. I do not want to relive all the hardships over the past year because there would be too many to count. Today is a day to celebrate. Celebrate what we've accomplished and to embrace each other for our resolve throughout this crisis. You have made it. As I look around our stadium, it has been so nice to get out again and resume all the normal activities we've used to do in the past. I want to congratulate all of our teams and extracurricular programs for remaining steadfast with the activities that they were so passionate about. Your perseverance through it all and adhering to the guidelines made a huge difference for you and all the people around you. At our last board meeting, Mr. Bednarski presented a slideshow which highlighted the accomplishments of all of our extracurricular activities over the past year, and we have much to be proud of as a district. As we've been given many different messages and guidance from the state and local agencies, which were often at the last minute, your pursuit for academic and personal success never wavered. There are a few themes that I'd like to focus on today. Safety was a priority throughout the year, and I believe that we accomplished that goal. We had 6 feet social distancing. We had 3 feet social distancing. We had a time for partitions, and it goes on. The second theme centered around the impact of all of this on us and what were the good things that came out of this past year. I thought about the word impact and its definition. The definition I chose of the word impact was having a strong effect on someone or something. So during the past year and a half, I reflected on some of the things that had an impact. Zoom meetings, Google Meets, Google Classroom. Administratively, some meetings actually work better via Zoom, but in-person learning can never be replaced. A major impact on many of us has been the significant increase in the need and use of technology. For example, my mother, who's 79 years old, who hates technology with a passion, became a Zoom junkie. She loved it because it kept her connected when she couldn't meet people in person. It took a while to get her there, but she won't turn it away at this time. The lack of ability to engage with each other in person was devastating. We need social interaction. Bringing students back for more in-person learning was always the goal. Communication opened up and people shared their feelings and fears like no other time before. I want to share a story with you about a student who had returned to school for more in-person learning but was extremely nervous. I set up a meeting with this student because after we got started, I heard that things were going well for him since his return, and I wanted to know what made the difference. After a few minutes of our meeting, he said, "Mr. Bowles, the biggest change was I felt connected. My principals and teachers reached out to me every day and made a point to find me first thing in the morning when I arrived." He said that was huge for me. So I want you to reflect on what positive impact did you make for someone over the last year. Whatever it was, continue doing it. The second theme I want to discuss is what did you learn over the past year? I learned to become more patient. When I would go out to stores, people were more on edge, more than ever before. I started to make a point to say something nice to a cashier or anyone in the service industry. These people have been dealing with a lot of things, and they are on the front lines of the pandemic. It really seemed to make a difference to them, which also helped me. I hope you have learned a lot about yourself and the strength that you have within. You have navigated the ever-changing situations, schedules, guidance from the CDC and the Department of Health. Your ability to adapt and adjust are the qualities of the most successful people in life. One of the most important things that occurred through all of this is to know enough about yourself when to ask for help. COVID was a situation that was too big to handle by ourselves, but collectively, by helping each other, we have endured. You and your fellow classmates are truly special. You have accomplished what no other high school students have done in 100 years. Your ability to move forward during the pandemic cannot be matched. In summary, I will leave you with a few parting messages. Your aspirations and dreams can always be accomplished. Do not let someone tell you that you can't do something or be something. You define your destination. You define your path. You will always be North Star strong. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bowles. Now please turn your attention to the video monitor, where our CNS vocal jazz and senior members of our musical groups will be performing the song, "I Am Still Your Dreamer."
All my life you have been by my side, carrying
Our next speaker this evening is a member of the Senior Executive Board for the class of 2021. She has been very involved member of the CNS community by taking part in Girls Who Code, Positivity Project, and National Honor Society. She volunteers at the Main Street Early Education Program, and in the summer, she's a master scuba diver. She will be attending the University of Rochester, where she will be majoring in engineering and minoring in French. Please help me welcome Madison King.
Thank you. Let's be honest, this year wasn't at all what we imagined. It wasn't the perfect senior year that we see all over in movies and TV shows. There wasn't a homecoming game, a senior picnic, and we didn't get to spend all year together in the walls that make up CNS. That doesn't mean this year wasn't special, though. We found new ways to connect with each other and still built new relationships. As for classes, we adjusted to Zooms and Google Meets instead of in-person discussions, spending more time on camera than we ever imagined. We were forced to adapt to this new way of learning, living, and communicating, but that ultimately made us stronger. Because of our circumstances, as we move on to the next phase of our life, we are ready for whatever challenges are thrown at us. We know how to make the best of a bad situation, and we know that even if it's not exactly what we pictured in our head, it'll still be amazing. We've learned how to come together and use our strengths to get through difficult times, that we're stronger together than we are apart. This year wasn't without its personal lessons as well. I don't know about anyone else, but this year helped me figure out who I am, what I believe in, and what mark I want to leave on this world. With that being said, whether it be here in New York or across the country, attending college, joining the military, or entering the workforce, most of us are counting down the days till we start the next phase of our life, eagerly awaiting the new experiences and people we'll meet. However, that doesn't mean we should forget everything we've been through, because without our peers and community, we wouldn't be where we are today. From our parents and guardians, who are always there to support us, to our teachers and counselors who are always there to give aid and answer questions, to our friends who have made our experiences truly unique and memorable. We all had classmates, teammates, fellow club members, and co-workers, like my awesome ones at Vicky's Tasty Treat, who made these 13 years unforgettable. We laughed, cried, worked, and rejoiced together. And while relationships evolved, we will never forget those who left an impact on us. The memories will always be there for us to look back on, whether they're from classes, football games, the prom fashion show, the conversations in the cafeteria, or senior ball. From myself and the rest of the executive board, congratulations to the CNS class of 2021 on graduating. We know you will accomplish great things and explore the world. Adventure is out there. Let's go find some. Thank you.
It is now my pleasure to introduce the Salutatorian, ranked number 2 in the class of 2021. He is the president of Principal's Cabinet and Honor Society. He is an international speaker for the Optimist Club. He has served as a volunteer for the community as a basketball coach with a local church. He will be attending the University of Pennsylvania, where he will major in chemistry and biological basis of behavior on the pre-med track. Please welcome Giorgio Rauda.
Thank you. Family, friends, and fellow graduates, good evening. My name is Giorgio Rauda, and I am very honored to be speaking in front of you all on this commemorative day as the class of 2021 Salutatorian. Firstly, I would like to thank all of our teachers, faculty, administration, community members, and loved ones for being here with us tonight, and for your endless support throughout our 4 years of high school. This year was not meant to be easy, but it is these individuals that have made it a unique and memorable end to our experience, and I thank you. Similar to every other assignment I've done this year, this speech was written at the very last minute. For the longest time, I was unsure of what I wanted to share with you all today. That was until I realized that the diploma you will receive today does not only resemble knowledge accrued in math, science, English, or history, but it also is a symbol of our perseverance against personal struggles and our ability to continue learning throughout. We have learned so much in our education over the past several years, and sometimes it is hard to keep track. So, I would like to share some of the things I've learned, starting from the very beginning. A polar bear is yellow, and the sun above us is white. Why can't I eat crayons, even though they are the same color as Skittles? I carried those questions with me to the classroom, where my curiosity flourished as I met new people and asked them the same questions I would constantly ask myself. How do I even tie my shoes? In Lakeshore Road Elementary School, little Giorgio was much shorter, and in fact, a lot wider. Shoes untied, he was a very nervous boy. Nervous that he wouldn't make any friends. Nervous for his big multiplication test. Nervous that he would sit alone on the bus ride home. And so the first thing I've learned is that friendship is pure, that it never dies. I'm forever thankful for the people I've met on this journey, especially for the fellas I grew up with from the beginning. We made it, and I thank you guys. I've learned that I had gained confidence by the time I reached 4th grade, enough for me to perform a heavy metal guitar solo at a Christmas concert, to show up to school after tragically misspelling the word zipper at the spelling bee, to walk up and down the aisles of the bus on the way home, dancing to my song, Fergalicious. Perhaps confidence is all we need. If there is one thing my parents taught me, it is that respect can only be earned through your actions and your words. Stellar grades and achievements are rewarding, but they are not the characteristics of life that make you whole. My parents had never gone to college, yet they are wise enough to teach me about humility, commitment, and everything in between. Success will never be defined by how much money you earn, what you do for a living, which car you drive, or which house you own. Instead, you've taught me to always be kind to others. It shows who we are. It shows character. It's more valuable than anything else obtained from an education. You both reflect the ideal that the most rewarding things in life do not necessarily come from paving the way for your own success, but instead for the success of those for whom you care most. I promise you both to always stay humble, even at the highest points in my life. I remember that even from the beginning of elementary school, you've reminded me this daily. I promise to be safe, be happy, and always do my best. I've also learned that many of us mistakenly search for happiness in the wrong places. We look for it in our SAT scores, our college admissions, or perhaps a 6-figure salary in the future. And a lot of us might experience this happiness, but it will not last very long. So, we defer our happiness in pursuit of our goals, instead of realizing that it surrounds us daily, that it can be found in the friendships and hardships that have helped us get here. I've learned a lot about love and about loss. I've learned that one of the most important reasons why we take so many pictures is so that we remember to not forget all of the memories that make our story unique. I've learned that to measure success is not to rank yourself among others. We cannot define ourselves merely by numbers. It does not do us any justice. For there are infinite ways to define intelligence and passion. We all have our own ranking at what we do best. So if you look to your right and to your left, you will be looking through the windows to bright minds alike, each with their own story and their own passion. Music artist Post Malone says, "All that you know is all that you are." We should be grateful, for we know so much more than we did as fourth graders, as freshmen, and as the people we were yesterday. We've grown into better thinkers, better listeners, better friends. I no longer eat crayons. I'm confident that polar bears are white. The sun above us today is yellow. And I want to thank my older sister for teaching me how to tie my shoes. This year, I've learned that when the bell rings, desks are turned 45 degrees and masks are pinched and pulled above the nose. I've also learned that not every traffic light is green, no matter how late you are to your first block class. I've learned that maturity is important, but we must live through the times when maturity is thrown out the window and learn how to enjoy the moment instead. Finally, I think I've learned the most about time. It was only yesterday that we entered the summer of 2016, ready for our high school career. Yet, here we are today. For so long, we've been conditioned to work against time during exams and in our schedules daily. It is something I've always struggled with. I'm sure you've all received the memo. Time flies. Time's wasted. Time management. Wake up. It's time to go to school. Though all of the above are irrelevant, let us focus on how time inspires. Time heals. Time gives room to grow and teaches us to let go. Some people think time is a paradox. Others believe it is a commodity. This pandemic has taught me that time is nothing more than a gift. Regardless of what it means to you, I know that we do not have enough of it to be worried about what we haven't learned in high school. And although it may seem scary that time never stops, I understand now that neither do we. We haven't stopped being kind, we haven't stopped loving or setting goals. We haven't stopped being friends, being students, being achievers. Isn't that the beauty of things? Perhaps we need to work alongside time rather than against it. Maybe then we will learn to slow down, to live each day as if time were being counted backwards rather than forwards. I'm forever thankful for the people I've met and the experiences I've had. We've all overcome so many obstacles in our lives, including the simplest lesson of how to tie our shoes. To be sitting here tonight, you should all be proud of yourselves for proving that you have what it takes to overcome life's many challenges and tests of our integrity. I congratulate you all once more for being a graduate of the class of 2021, the class that learned how to laugh, learned how to adapt, and how to time travel in a pandemic. I'd like to leave you with one piece of advice. It is okay to eat your crayons. What's not okay is if we never learn that they can give you really bad cramps afterwards. Take some time to reflect on what you've learned and to thank those around you that have made it all possible. As you walk across the stage today, I encourage you all to live in the moment, to take advantage of today, to be eager for tomorrow, to never stop learning, and most importantly, to be forever a North Star. Thank you.
Our final speaker was very active in sports while at Cicero North Syracuse High School. He participated in cross country, track, and tennis. He also spent time being involved in Math League. His favorite class was Computer Science A. A love of computer science will take him to SUNY Binghamton, where that is what he will major in. Please welcome to the podium your class of 2021 valedictorian, Edwin Hirsch.
My fellow graduates, I'll speak briefly because I understand that all of us on this day are very eager to eat, to celebrate, and to party, just as we have been eager to graduate so that we may explore, adventure, and become independent individuals, even if that means leaving the teachers and family that are among us today. Yet, judging by your silence, passive compliance, I assume that we would all agree it's important to take a few minutes to reflect on our time together at CNS and consider the future to come. The past few years, especially the last 16 months or so, have been ripe with valuable lessons, which is great when you've been tasked with writing a speech about what you've learned during high school. Mr. Eichenlaub taught us that as demand for GameStop stock increases, so does its price. Mr. Broden, Coach Broden, or simply Broughton, taught us that it's completely normal to masticate or chew. And Miss Capria taught us that when the P is low, reject the hoe. We've developed a new appreciation for things we thought we never would, like large class sizes, in-person school, and hugs. But above all else, if we have learned anything during our time at CNS, is that we need each other. Without the magical stories of Big R or the sounds of Mr. Hill shouting next door, school was a bit duller this year. And even with our grades supported by mounds of Quizlet completion scores, many of us struggled from the lack of physical connection to the wonderful teachers, staff, and students at CNS this year. Truth be told, it was the time spent with my teammates playing disc golf, with my friends playing spike ball, with my coworkers sweating it out, and with my family playing Farkle. That was an essential part of keeping my sanity this year. And although we may strive to be strong, independent individuals as we grow older, if you've ever played football, basketball, volleyball, lacrosse, field hockey, or run cross country or track, if you've ever been a part a science Olympiad, math league, or marching band, or if you've ever held a job at Target, Chick-fil-A, Boreos, Copper Top, or been a team member anywhere, I'm sure you're aware that our success as individuals is often intimately tied to the success and happiness of the people we surround ourselves with, which is why I am both grateful and thankful to have been surrounded by bright and talented students who make arriving late to school every day worth it, by kind and compassionate teachers who accept assignments at 2 in the morning, and by my family, Mom, Mark, Cassidy, and Dad, who discourage me from submitting assignments at 2 in the morning. It takes a village to raise a child, and graduates, if you take a moment to look around, I'm sure you'd see that village. So for all the parents, teachers, staff, faculty, friends, and family who made today possible, could we please have a big round of applause? As for the future, we know what we are, but know not what we may be, once wrote William Shakespeare. We, the class of 2021, represent the potential that the future holds. So while we travel forward in search of what we may be, may we always have a village to support us and guide us. Thank you.
Mr. Farfallia, please join me at the podium for the formal acceptance of the graduates.
Thank you.
I'm going to read it. Mr. Farfallia, it is with great pleasure that I submit to you for formal acceptance as graduates of Cicero North Syracuse High School the candidates assembled here who have met with full compliance and regulation and requirements set forth by the Commissioner of Education in the state of New York. Finally, the moment we've all been waiting for. The presentation of the diplomas. Parents, relatives, and friends, please hold your applause until the graduates have received their diplomas.
Madison Nicole King. Elena Susan Nafluski. Lauren Elizabeth Postel. Maggie Jane Middleton. Elizabeth Beatrice Chase. Victoria May Rockwood. Riley Kathleen Kowola.
Anyone has an H.
Joseph Timothy Cody. Brianna Marie Belair. Madison Evelyn Clark Lisenski. Jared Michael Ridgway. Patrick James Marshfield. Donique Jasmine Brown. Emily Elizabeth Soulier. Devante Armando Caruso Colon. Aya Nasri Abdelaziz. Cameron Michael Agulia. Anna James Aiello. Austin Angelo Alberici. Cameron Alexander Aldrich. Wael Imad Aldwas. Madeline Sophia Alabrandi. Victoria G. Ala. Mariah Faith Allen. Drew Jared Alvarez. Ian David Amiot. Emily Marie Anderson. Lily Lyndon Anderson. Zachary James Anderson. Jaden Bree Anzac. Alyssa Joy Arcuri. Joseph Nicholas Arcuri. Saverio Anthony Arezzo. Sierra Maria Arroyo. Nasim Nayel Ashkar. Akuje Matur Ayol. Pascaline Bahati. Shania Lynn Atkinson. Sophia Bahri. Logan Robert Bailey. Twanique S. Bailey. Michael Patrick Baker. Jaden Rain Baker. Peyton Clarice Baker. Joseph Samuel Barbuto. Jolie Rose Barnello. Erin Megan Barney. James Nicholas Baxter. Madison Lynn Becker. Haley Audrey Bell. Juliana Patricia Belso. Jamie Lynn Benarick. Taylor Elizabeth Bennett. Sierra Marie Benoit. Zachary Sean Bergman. McKenna Marie Bigness. Van Bick. Ryan William Bisnet. Lisady Bissaron Rodriguez. Brooke Savannah Blasdell. Isaac Daniel Blakeman. Gavin Dorigo Blaylock. Lorelei Annalise Bodenbach. Adrian Riley Bombard. Brian David Bonin. Riley Elizabeth Borden. James Robert Bothwell. Emma Louise Bouchard. Joseph Ryan Bowen. Olivia Elizabeth Bozanovsky. Evan Colabello Breitbeck. Joshua Charles Briggs. Marissa Denise Britton. Adam Daniel Brown. Olivia Morgan Brown. Taryn Ann Brown. Athena Sappho Brown. Jade Ryan Georgina Burkhart. Cara Ann Burlingame. Riley Cameron Burns. Abigail Marie Buston. Montel Dion Bird. Edward James Calabria. Genesis Essence Caldwell. Haley Ray Campanello. Lily Kaylin Thompson Canino. Delaney Ireland Casey. Dominic John Cavelli. Gianna Rosa Chairmont. Brandon Michael Champion. Lance Emerson Chase. Megan Annabelle Chase. Ava Marie Christo. Leas Wylock Chung. Joseph Michael Cicerelli. Anthony Joseph Semino. Derek G. Clark. Margaret Catherine Clark. Katie Marie Clunan. Nicholas Bonifacio Close. Sabrina Marie Klubine. Carter Thomas Cochardo. Caden Andrew Cochran. Emily Elizabeth Colagiovanni. Allison Nicole Colasanti. Megan Lee Colasanti. Kimberly Alice Collins. Alexander Luis Colon. Spencer James Conjal. Alexandra Vincenza Conklin. Cameron Lewis Cook. Jessica Kathleen Cook. Casey Marie Cooper. Autumn Lynn Corkle. Ryan Patrick Corp. Tyler Jacob Corp. Jamie Brian Courtwright. Gabrielle Mary Courtwright. Bridget Alicia Cox. Olive K. Crawford. Cecilia Lee Cross. Aaliyah Najee Crouch. Asia Elizabeth Crouch. Nyla Cruz. Jacob Edward Crystal. Christopher Patrick Cummings. Christopher James DiAgostino. William Bernard Darko Jr. Nathan Andrew Dugard. Nicholas Joseph DeViro. Amaya Jade Davis. Reynolds Joseph Davis. Cameron Alexander Dakar. Megan Elizabeth Decker. Dalton Matthew Dietz. Carolanne Lynn Del Conte. Alexandra Grace DeMarche. Harley Ray True Dennis. Justin Michael Detrain. Grace Elizabeth Deviney. Giovanna Marie DeToma. John Andrew Stephen Doherty. Ivy Young Dong. Kara Lynn Dorn. Kyle Robert Dromgool. Michaela Jasmine Droz. Rhiannon Lucille Drum. Emma Marie Duca. Carson Thomas Duffy. Dylan Patrick Duffy. Robert Evans Dunlap V. Ethan Robert Dupel. Melanie Chinwandu Daru. Alexander George Dwyer. Nicole Rebecca Earl. Asir Aman Elmanare. Nathan Joseph Enochian. Keith Christian Eris. Grace Melina Essie. Nicholas Daniel Espinosa Montesinos. Malijah Mary Fadden. Maya Paige Fairbanks Tomasino. Arabella Lee Fairfield. Dominic Joseph Fairfield. Jake William Falgiatano. Martin Carl Falkenberg. Angelina May Fasano. Ashley Grace Fay. Taylor Catherine Fetty. Krista Ann Feeney. Laura Jean Furman. Kevin Timothy Falasco. Angelina Marie Fernandez. Ava Dorothy Field. Brianna Marie Fields. Jared Lee Finley. Nolan Patrick Firth. Jamil Michael Flagg. Riley Logan Fleming. Isabella Rose Fontana. Darren Robert Foraker Jr. Maxwell Lynn Fortna. Matthew Ryan Frank. Kevin Matthew Friend. Alyssa Marie Freisinger. Emily Rose Fuller.
Daniel Robert Gaffney. Garrett Paul Gardner Jr. Nigeria S. Gale. Christopher Ian Georgiadis. Gosh. Gianna Maria Germain. Dylan James Jessini. Malik Gabaru. Jared Stephen Gilbert. Thomas Presley Gilbo. Samuel Joseph Gilchrist. Zakiah Nairi Denise Givens. Emily Catherine Gattel. Ashley Nicole Goldberg. Vincent Paul Miguel Gonzalez. Nicole Annette Goodnow. Angelina Marie Gray. Ryan Christopher Gray. Jaden Charles Greco. Owen Thomas Greco. Taliana Elizabeth Grogan. Kendall Marie Grover. Joseph Jasper Gucciardi. Amanda Nicole Galuzza. Kayla Marie Guida. Nicholas James Guider. Elena Marie Harbo. John Charles Harbaugh. Sophia Elaine Hatch. Giovanni Deptula Heater. Savannah Marie Hefner. Noah Lawrence Henderson. Jonathan Scott Hendry. Joseph Monray Henry Jr. Cambry Renee Hibbard. Ryan Charles Hill. Robert James Hiller. Raina Marie Hinman. Benjamin Richard Hoffman. Fallon Cassidy Hokinson. Riley Hook. Colin Mark Hopkins. Alyssa Suzanne Hujar. Mackenzie Lynn Hull. Connor R. Hunkins. Adam Ziad Hussein. Juliana Marie Hutt. Elias Ibrahim. Blake Lee Einish. Carter Guy Jackson. Cyan Capri Jackson. Alexandra Elizabeth Jacob. Alana Suzanne Jackowitz. Philip Roy Jandrew Jr. William Paul Janus. Vanessa Ray Jarrett. Nicholas Alexander Jobson. Jaden Nasir Johnson. Lauren Genevieve Johnson. McKenna Lynn Johnston. Jillian Marie Jones. Natalia Corinne Jones. Caitlin Marie Joyo. Gaetano John Julian. Rebecca Lynn Juska.
Maria Danielle Casarda. Matthew James Cash. Nicolette Alexandra Cash. Brody Michael Kennedy. Nisa Lynn Kennedy. Alexander Matthew Kennison. Jenna Elizabeth Ketchum. Jonathan Andrus Ketchum. Lauren Elizabeth Kahn. Saeed Emil Cabez. McKenna Estelle Kiesnowski. Ty Michael King. Isabel Dolores Kinsella. Velislav Ivailov Kirilov. Evan Christian Kirk. Matthew William Clam. Jackson Riley Cloffer. Tucker Charles Knapp. Garrett Michael Knob. Mackenzie Ann Kocher. Emma Rose Koenig. Melanie Rose Koenig. Alexa Rose Kobel. Olivia Nicole Kozlowski. Aiden Kendall Kratz. Alexandra Patricia Kraus. Emily Margaret Keene. Sarah Ann Keene. Patricia Maya Kulecha. Kaylee Hannah Karula. Sierra Lynn LaBoy. Rejane Kayleen Lacey. Isabella Dominique LaFace. Brianna Crystal LaFavor. Noden John LaFirst. Rose Marie Lane. Colin John LaPierre. Zachary Preston Large. Austin Thomas LaRobadier. Trace Bartel LaRobadier III. Stephanie Helene LaRose. Caitlin Anita Laughlin. Riley Joseph Lavancha. Haley Morgan Lawless. Caleb Glenn Lawton. Kyle Jacob Lazor. Matthew David LeClaire. Grace Israel Lee Chambers. Joshua Aiden Lehman. Jenna Lynn Lenweaver. Victor Joel Leon Melendez. Evan John Leonardo. Aurora May Lesinski. Olivia Laura Alice Lesko. Abigail Grace Lewin. Gabriel Thomas Lightall. Sandy Lynn. Kaya Marie Lindsay. Austin Michael Labello. Elena Elizabeth Lombardo. Aiden Michael Long. Owen Scott Loomis. Andrew A. Langafay. Angel A. Langafay. Alexis Rose Mogg. Aiden Ryan McKenzie. Brady Alexander Marshak. Kyle Monroe Marshak. Kylie Ann Marquito. Quentin David Maring. Mackenzie Marie Masters. Anthony Mateo Mavica. Jacqueline Nicole Mayers. Tyler James Mazzoli. Leah Allison McBaron. Olivia Marie McCaffrey Graber. Leabella Rhiannon McCarthy. Dylan Austin McDonald. Augustine Michael McElwain. Justin James McEwen. Dylan James McGannon. Braden Alec McLean. Riley Mackenzie McLeod. Allison Kathleen McRobbie. Tayden Wayne Meck. Anna Elise Melfi. Luke Carl Mayer. Nathan Robert Mayer. Evan James Mayers. Catherine Margaret Michaels. Hannah May Milbeyer. Sierra Madison Miller. Brandon Cole Millis. Gianna Armida Milamachi. Jenna K. Mills. Hannah Elizabeth Mingle. Alexis Nicole Minnow. Lauren Gia Misco. Brendan Patrick Mitchell. Rod Ahmed Maletti. Molly Marie Molchanoff. Matthew Charles Molesky. Clearlise Maria Morales Navarro. Mackenzie Marie Moran. Joseph Stephen Morgan. Demi Moo. Aiden Isley Murray. Seth Patrick Murray. Tyler Reese Murray. Logan Patrick Musey. Antonio Juan Napolitano. Nicolette Natalie Nareen. Maria Elizabeth Nash. Samuel Eric Nessel. Allison Josephine Newton. Vance Michael Newvine. Jason Yan Win. Jada Marie Ann Neese. Isaiah Antonio Nieves. Paul James Nadzo. Abby Rose Marie Norris. Amy Catherine Nunez. Christian Joseph O'Brien. Sarah Elizabeth O'Ra. Jaden Marie Orloff. Cassidy Marie Ormond. Hecate R. Ostrander Bradley. Liliana Cherie Oswald. Thomas Edmund Paycheck III. Abigail McDonald Paulini. Lydia Biaxian Parr. Lorelei Claire Park. James David Perro. Anthony Nathan Pasache. Sarah Mary Jane Patterson. Keith Richard Peck. Joseph Nicholas Penizzato Jr. Charles Joseph Perkins. Isabella Noelani Perkins. Nicholas Charles Perry. Morgan Brooke Petranchik. Chloe Joy Phelps. Marissa Jean Phillips. Micah Harry Phillips. Celine Carol Picard. Ryan Daniel Pickard. Tyler Anthony Pickard. Cara Juliana Pierce. Caitlin Marie Piston. Dalton John Porter. Sawyer Quinn Powell. Gabriel Martin Price. Gianna Stephanie Pulliam. Zachary Wee Purdy. Nathan Mark Pike. Autumn Rose Raganese. Matthew Alexander Raganese. Brady Michael Ramos. Gianna Francis Rayom. James Riste Razmovsky. Tyler Ann Ritz. Justin Tyler Roden. Luciano Antonio Ricardo. Naomi Marie Rice. Ariana Marie Richway. Samuel Keith Ridgway. Katerina Elena Rivera Jimenez. Vanessa Ray Roberts. Carlos Alberto Rodriguez Borno. Bailey Nicole Rogers. Evan Nicholas Romano. Nicholas Christopher Romano. Samantha Ann Rosen. Matthew Thomas Roth. Ethan Lee Rourke. Julia Christine Rowe. Divine Jade Rucker. Deanna Nishay Rufus. Kyle Forrest Ruggles. Kobe Ryan Rupp. Adam Jacob Rush. Caden Chauncey Lee Russell. Jared Matthew Ryan. Liam Cameron Ryan. Nicholas Spencer Ryder.
Yasser Saif. Dominic Terrence Salamone. Olivia Grace Zhangzi Sada. Victoria Grace Scalisi. Jacob Preston Schaefer. Jeter Michael Schaefer. Zachary Michael Schulk. Jacob Rudy Schmid. Olivia Jade Schult. Morgan Ann Schwerk. Gabrielle Colleen Scorzelli. Natalie Nicole Scuderi. Brandon James Scully. Brooke Lynn Seegers. Grant Patrick Sennett. Ashley Marie Senska. Ethan Daniel Shallcross. Kayla Nicole Shanley. Emily Suzanne Shaw. Devin John Shelton. Carson Aaron Shawstack. Gabrielle Thomas Shuba. Shara Cameron Schwani. Samantha Christiane Juliet K. Seabay. Daniel John Silfer. Chloe Ray Smeeder. Alexis Christina Smith. Mackenzie Taylor Smith. McKenna Rose Smith. Sophia Rose Smith. Alexis Lynn Snell. Jamie Lynn Snyder. Maria Pauline Sokolowski. Emily Irene Solak. Daniel Lloyd Sorensen. Christopher William Sorrentino. David Parrish Southworth. Landon Kyle Southworth. Jalen Lee Sovia. Frankie Angelo Squadrito. Trevor John Starr. Vincent Michael Stieber. Gina Mary Steckel. John Richard Sterling. Zane Michael Sternberg. Sierra Autumn Stetson. Justin Gregory Stevens. Tyler Matthew Stetzel. Alexa Marie Stone. Chloe Marie Stonger. Ryan Thomas Strong. Fiona May Sullivan. Tanya Ava Marie Cyrell. Sarah Jean Zuba.
Emma Lee Taft. Daniel Trenton Talladay. Alexander Tao. Lily Cataray Tarbell. Sarah Ann Temple. Brooke Ruth Tenbrink. Amaya Sana Thaler. Nicholas Anthony Thielen. Isana Lanaya Tompkins. Emma Paige Thompson. Jaden Daniel Tinker. Dante Michael Tisby. Kyle Harold Lake Toms. Grace Marie Toomey. Savannah Lillian Toper. Sierra May Toper. Darren Robert Townsend Goldwaite. Sophia May Trenka. Ryan Taylor Trotter. Jack Ryan Chop. Eden James Tyson Jr. Lillian Joyce Van Ryn. Shelby Lynn Varnum. Andrea Rose Vaughn. Nathaniel John Vaccarelli. Damon Allen Villeneuve Jr. Brandon Allen Vona. Valerie Ray Vona. Alexia Marie Tavo Wagner. Jeremiah Arafat Wadan. Matthew John Walker. Gianna Angela Wamling. Monet Cristal Washington. Michael Bernard Washington, Jr. Lauren Elizabeth Watkins. Gary Robert Way. Reagan Nicole Webb. Stephanie Alexis Webb. Caitlin Carol Weber. Chance Jaden Weiler. Jacob Alexander Wesley. Christian Andrew Whitaker. Mackenzie Snow White. Maxwell James White. Noah Everett Wiserek. Alila Alexis Wigfall. Justice Allen Michael Wilkie. Miranda Leanne Wilkins. Danielle Christina May Williams. Jalen Jamel Williams. Carly Rose Williams. Matthew Cordell Williams. Corinne Rachel Williamson. Aaron Alexis Williamson. Adrian Elise Willis. Sierra Rain Wills. Alyssa Shannon Wilson. Emma Rose Wilson. Stephen Joseph Lanzafame Winslow. Dylan Jacob Wise. Regan Marie Woslaw. Isaiah Allen Wright. Joseph Emmanuel Youngbay. Brian Zhang. Ronnie Richard Michael.
Parents, relatives, and friends, it is my pleasure to formally present the Cicero North Syracuse High School graduates of the class of 2021. The switching of the tassels will be led by Senior Class Executive Board members Riley Kowola and Victoria Rockwood.
At this point in time, we are ready to switch the tassels from the right side of our caps to the left. Although this custom has been lost in tradition, it is thought to date back to the 1600s when caps and gowns were worn every day to class.
Would everyone now please move your tassel from the right side to the left side? Congratulations!
The presentation of the roses, presented by Senior Class Executive Board members Elizabeth Chase and Maggie Middleton.
When each of you crossed the stage tonight, you were presented with a single long-stemmed rose. The rose is a flower which has signified different things throughout history.
Tonight, your rose signifies the love and support that you have been given by those people in your life who have helped you to reach this significant moment. After tonight's ceremony, we ask that you present your rose to the person who made the most difference in your life.
The Class of 2021 gift will be presented by Senior Class Executive Board member Elena Nifluski and Lauren Postel.
It has been a long-standing tradition for the senior class to leave a small legacy. This legacy usually embodies the essence of each graduating class. The class of 2021 has spent the last 3 years supporting various endeavors that have had a major impact on the North Syracuse community.
As members of the graduating class of 2021, our gift this year is symbolic of our dedication to our community. Our gift is a monetary donation to Vera House, a nonprofit organization working to create a world free of violence and abuse.
Tonight, as our graduates left the stage, they were given two things: a white, large envelope that contained their diploma, and two very special teachers, Miss Dietrich and Miss Morano, handed each student envelopes. At this time, if you haven't already, I'd like our graduates to open the envelopes. The smaller envelopes, not the big white one. Inside the envelope, each student will find a letter from a former teacher that they had at some point in their educational career at North Syracuse. We want every graduate here to know how much of an impact you had on our teachers, administrators, and staff. Just so parents know, this all call went out to all of our teachers, faculty, staff, administrators, K-12. I want you to help me thank your senior class advisors, Ms. DeMoro and Ms. McPhillips, for all their hard work the past 3 years coordinating your class activities. Personally, I'd like to say a huge thank you To my family, our House Secretaries, Cindy Zinzer, Jill Bill, and Denise Roach, and our Registrar Karen Lambert, Without their help, this ceremony would not have been able to happen tonight. I'd also like to thank my House principals, as well as Jack McAndrew and Patty Iwanachek, who helped strategize and plan this entire year and graduation. Before you go off and begin your celebrations for all your accomplishments, I would like to recognize an individual who made a positive impact on our CNS community for over 2 decades. This individual's presence at CNS represents commitment, safety, and trust. The relationship that she has fostered with students, staff, and families will forever be a cornerstone of what it truly means to be a North Star. Deputy Doreen Bryson, after 39 years of police service with the Onondaga County Sheriff's Office and 21 selfless years of it as our school resource officer, we are truly grateful and wish you much happiness as you retire with the class of 2021. Please stand for our alma mater, led by the CNS Vocal Jazz Ensemble. You may be seated for one last time. Parents, grandparents, and caregivers, it is now your time. I just want to take a moment to recognize you for all that you have done this year and throughout your graduates' educational career to help them get to this point. This year especially was not easy on you. You can now rest easy for a bit knowing that you did it. Graduates, you have just finished a senior year that one day you will be able to look back on and tell your children and grandchildren stories about. You'll be able to tell them stories about your time living through a global pandemic and how your life in school changed so much in an instant. School shutting down during your junior year for what was only supposed to be 2 weeks, which ended up turning into months. Living through quarantine and being advised to stay home. Watching your parents wash their groceries and Lysoling Amazon packages before bringing them into your house. The next school year, your senior year, didn't start out as a traditional senior year was supposed to start. Some students chose to take classes from home, while the rest came to school only 1 day a week. Since the beginning of the pandemic, we learned how quickly life can change, and that's something that we can't take for granted any longer. I want to leave you with a quote from Octavia Spencer. Quote, "The best years are very much ahead of you, and they can be whatever you want them to be. As much as you've changed during your time here, more change is coming. You are going to continue to evolve in unforeseen ways. You are full of complexities and wonders that haven't even begun to surface. Life's unpredictability will draw these out, and what defines you now will be mere shades and hues of a more vibrant you over the next 5, 10, 50 years. Honestly, I can't think of anything more liberating than that. knowing that life will look differently than you think it will, unquote. Now you, class of 2021 North Stars, go and do good things. Bagpiper, lead the way.